Good soldiers follow orders.
Hello everyone and welcome back for a new episode of the Baddest Batch today where we talk spoilers. We're starting early. Spoilers are already out and we're ready to discuss some of those. And as you can see, as the little asterisk at the bottom, we do have a little bit of Jango talk to do at the end. But first we'll have a good time and talk about the new stuff. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. How are you?
Excited. Clint, how you doing?
Rock out with our beeps out.
I'm
Tell you what, the blue's nice.
the blue is very nice.
I do like the blue.
We'll talk packaging first. A few things came out already.
Better
The
than
pre-release
Arse
box,
Maroon.
the booster boxes, Carbonite boxes. I don't know if they'll keep the same name, but they're out. Let's call them prestige boosters or collector's
Let's say
boosters.
Carbonite box on the side.
Well, there you go. Carbonite box, and the two spotlight decks, which are Maul and Quick John. Are you guys happy with this choice of leader for the spotlight decks?
Did you just call it Qui-Jon? We can't
Qui-Gon? Yeah, apologies.
That's so French.
be more French, please.
Is the French in-
Frozen? It's the French. Yeah. No, I'm keen. Qui-Gon vs Darth Maul. That's iconic as hell.
It is.
Right. That's Duel of Fates. Oh, let's go.
I can hear the Jewel of Fates running in the background already.
What am I seeing?
Running through my mind.
What are we seeing on the box? We're seeing some Yoda, some Ahsoka, some Balin, that new
Balin art?
witch. Yes, the
That
Balin
Balin
art.
art?
Ooh, sexy. And a Darth Vader, obviously, on the Carbonite box. Who else but the one and
Gotta.
only?
Gotta.
And a ship. Is that Ahsoka's ship on the pre-release box? I think it is. I think it's Ahsoka's ship from the
I can't
Ahsoka
see.
series. I think. Could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
What are the over-unders on Vader being a legend in this set?
Um,
I don't know. We've had
I wouldn't be
He's
surprised if
been-
there's more than one.
been a legendary every set that he's been in, right? He's a legendary in JTL. He's a legendary in Spark.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the artwork for a Vader card and not necessarily a Vader unit.
I mean, that looks like hallway scene, right?
Yeah. Oh, and there's
Robot.
Asajj as well. Asajj Ventress. I think I see him on the packaging of the pre-release. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into cards. What do we have first? We have Qui-Gon Jinn action. Use the Force. So a new mechanic. Obviously, there's gonna be a whole thing about whether you have the Force or whether you don't. Yes, Clint. I can see you. You have a comment.
We're going to teach you how to say Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn. We'll get there. Return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hands. Play a
Qui-Gon Jinn.
non-villainy unit that costs less than the return unit from your hand for free. So obviously, a lot of it that we're going to judge today is without a lot of knowledge as to how easy it is to get the Force or not. Right? And as a unit, so 4/7, 6 cost. When this unit completes an attack and survives, you may return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hands. Play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the return unit from your hand for free. Thoughts?
I mean, combos are rife for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Let's return. Mm-hmm.
It's a nice way to clear a unit that's got damage on it and then sort of play down a sentinel or something, but you're going to have to craft your hand correctly for it though to make it trigger.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Tibo said, that we don't know what else is in the set to sort of play around with this stuff. But I saw there was a video. Was it? I can't remember who did it, but it was like playing a crate dragon out on turn 4 or something like that with like a combo, and he stepped through it. I'm terrible with
I'm
YouTubers. Names
really
who
not that
aren't
smart
us.
to do that.
But like I saw it, and I'd give him credit if I could. I just can't remember the name. But like, probably less of that. But like being able to, you know, like you said,
Yeah.
cycle through units, bring stuff back, put something else back in that might be a bit better. Doesn't feel super thematic for Qui-Gon, but it's cool.
Well, he is cunning.
Yeah, but is he? I thought he'd be
Should be.
command. To be
How
honest.
many times?
I would have said vigilance.
How many times have you watched episode 1? he goes against the council all the time. He's refused a seat as on the council
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
because
He's not
he
cunning,
kind of
though. Vigilance,
marches to
maybe.
the beat of his own drum.
Vigilance or command, I kind of feel, but I don't know.
So it's interesting that
but
it's
all I
Big in the
know,
art. He's got like that
This
kind
is
of.
sick.
It's like the samurai kind of
this is sick.
stance.
Nice
where
art.
he's up high. I dig it. I'm very excited for the showcase on what that
It's
will look like.
yeah, the showcase is going to be lit.
It's gonna be so good.
it's interesting. Again, 6 cost leader. We'll see how that goes. 4/7 is a to look like stat line. Interesting because it has to be less than the unit played, so you can't replay the same unit. Like it's not equal or less, so it has to be less. So it's a bit tricky. You probably have to play a lot of cheap units because you need to make sure if you trigger that you can get the unit back and play something else. So it'll take a little bit of deck building, but it can be interesting. Next, Green Hero Obi-Wan Kenobi as a special. When you play a Force unit, including this one, this unit gains Sentinel for this phase. I love this. Phenomenal.
This card is sick.
Phenomenal.
It's very good. 3 cost, 3/5.
3/5
with
Sentinel.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
it's pretty tasty.
You're
You
playing-
and your
You're playing this.
blue-green heroic.
You're
shit.
playing this of an
Yeah.
Alliance Dispatcher.
Ah,
It's a 3/5
would.
shielded.
you
Oh
would,
my
wouldn't ya?
god.
You would, wouldn't you? I already don't want to play games with Tebow. No,
Phenomenal.
it's good. It's good. I again, like, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the art. I'm digging
Yes.
Padawan Obi-Wan. I think that's sick. We've seen a lot. We've seen Old Man Obi-Wan. We've seen Clone Wars Obi-Wan. Now we got
This is
the
great.
braid, the young Obi-Wan. I'm keen.
Clint, I don't know how much you'll play that. Maybe probably not making an appearance in your Sabine. Maybe
3/5 green goes in Sabine.
it's actually not bad. Like it's almost better than the Sundaris.
I just
Kind
made
of.
that up on the spot as
Yeah.
well.
I was gonna say, don't pretend like that's just saying of yours.
Then we got a Refugee of the Path. 1 cost 0/3. When played, you may give a shield token to your unit with Sentinel. Well. Hello there. Really good with this new Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know how much he'll be played other than that. Decent in draft.
Obi-Wan, we don't want to oversell it too much. Like, it's good because it's a 3/5. Sentinel is conditional though, right? Like, you've got to play a force card to keep the Sentinel up,
Mhm.
which, I mean, again, like you said, in limited, it's probably going to be very possible in this set. So,
But it's,
see what it does.
it's
But
including
that's
him as
cool.
well. That's what's goat. That's what's dope.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
including
You
him.
play
Like,
it. He's got
it's-
Sentinel.
yeah.
Your opponent either attacks into it or has to claim, and then you're going to get Sentinel back out next turn,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Um,
But no, it's good.
Speaking of Force units, we got
And then you bounce it. Then you bounce it with Qui-Gon Jinn and replay another Obi-Wan from your hand.
No,
you
'cause
can't.
it's got to cost less.
That's what's tricky.
Ah, it costs less.
That's why I said earlier. I said it's
Reading
gonna
the
be
card explains the card.
it's gonna be a bit of an awkward kind of tempo because you're gonna have to have a lot of cheap stuff to kind of make up for that.
Yep.
But speaking of Force units, we got a young Anakin Skywalker cunning cunning hero. Sorry, hidden. So new mechanic. This unit can't be attacked if it was played this phase. Okay, and shielded when you play this unit, give it a shield token. 1 cost 1/1. Look,
Not bad.
when I saw that, the only thing I'm thinking of is welcome to turn 1 force throw with Quinlan. You're playing that, it's not getting killed, you can play force throw straight away. Right? This is your best ally to make sure you have a cheap force unit at any time to activate force throw. I don't know if you'll have other uses, but that's kind of what came to mind really quick.
And the fact that it's shielded,
What do you
you're
think
right.
about the?
Because you might like it's going to escape those ping decks. Like
Mhm.
even CAD, like sure it'll ping if it's the only thing you got on the board, but it's just going to ping the shield.
Yeah.
You'll still get to force throw. So it's pretty interesting.
What were you saying, Clint?
Cunning needed to get stronger apparently.
Well, they did make a point in the stream saying that there's a lot of other aspects getting 2 cost 2/4 units,
Two costs,
but
two
cunning
for-
isn't,
yes. Correct.
because cunning doesn't need any more
Any help?
help. They did cheekily acknowledge that in the stream this morning. But we've got the new hidden mechanic as well.
Mhm.
Um,
That's gonna be interesting.
I'm going to assume that there's more cards coming with hidden on it, and it'll be interesting to see how that mechanic is implemented and whether that becomes popular as a sort of like a tactic or a strategy as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I would-
interesting.
Well, like this one here, it's got shielded. You would kind of think that there's gonna have to be, units that have cool abilities that kind of rely on them to stay alive.
Yep.
Yes.
So, there's a little bit of protection. It's not going to stop it from defeating. So, I mean, like Power of the Dark Side and all those good things, because you're not attacking them, you're just defeating them. But
Makes me think that there's probably gonna be cards that have the ability to attack hidden cards as well, and that'll be fun. I'm not sure, but
Just as a side point, though, how often do you attack into a unit that's just been played, though? Like, how many opportunities do you have to attack into a unit that's just been played? I would say it's very rare, though.
yeah,
unless
right.
it's a Sentinel. But yeah, you're right.
right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Or a tech, or a DJ. There's a rule. There's exceptions to that rule. But like, you are right though. Like most things that are getting played like that. But I mean, I guess even your ECL.
Yeah.
Can't ECL it now.
Yeah,
like,
fair.
I'm sure you'd love to ECL Wrecker into that guy.
Mhm. Yeah, you could potentially. He interesting. So he can't be attacked, but he can be interacted with everything else, right? He can be targeted by events
That's
of any
right.
kind. Let's move on to Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite. 3/6 for 5. Decent stat line. On attack, the next time you use a when played ability this phase, you may use that ability again.
It's reverse thrown.
Yeah.
It
That's
sounds
interesting.
strong on paper. I don't know how strong you'll be in play. Because again, you have to play this, it has to survive, you have to attack something and then play again. Like, it's a lot of steps to get there, but it has the potential to be phenomenal.
But 3/6, like that's beefy. On 5, it's not super beefy, but in space 3/6 on 5, it's
if this was an on played, it'd be a different story.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be unreal.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But you got to play multiple. You got to play multiple
cards
cards per turn, though. Don't if it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and also Obi-Wan's Aether Sprite is just straight up better than this as well. Like, it's a 4/6. It does 2 damage on it when played and attack.
So you can automatically see the Qui-Gon Jinn's mechanic though. You're attacking with this, which means you can do the one played ability. You play one played ability and you keep bouncing back some stuff with one played ability, right? And you can replay some cheaper stuff with one played ability. So you can kind of see the leader Qui-Gon Jinn interaction with the Aether Sprite.
And don't forget, this unit doesn't have to remain in play for this ability to keep going. So you could just swing in with it. You've now got that thing, and then you can play a when played ability twice the next time you do it. You could bounce this back to your hand, or you could bounce something else back to your hand. Like,
what comes to mind is playing Ahsoka, or after this, you're making your opponent discard 2 cards. It's absolutely disgusting. But that's my little deck tech.
Imagine if you did it. If you played the Ahsoka, did the when played ability, then attacked with the Qui-Gon Aether Sprite, then bounced the Ahsoka back and then played it for free.
You can't play it for free because it has to be cost less.
You could bounce the Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite, which
Oh,
costs
yes, I know
5.
what you mean.
Ahsoka costs 4, so you could actually make them discard 3 times.
You could, yes.
Yeah.
There's some nasty stuff there. Again, it's a lot of steps, a lot of ifs, but on paper it sounds decent.
This one, I'm excited for this one only because of the unit itself. Because you know what? Do you know what this means? Do you know whose ship that is?
Stinger Mantis. That's
Gal Kestis ship.
That's Gal Kestis' ship. I love Jedi Survivor. It's a good game.
Are we getting Cal Kestis as a leader
Don't excite me.
or just a unit?
Oh,
I think he'll be happy with either. But a
I would,
Carcass showcase should be more
But
than
a
happy.
showcase of him? Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. I'm in.
Stinger Mantis, 5 cost, 4/6. When played, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. Not bad. Very decent, honestly. Nothing wrong with that. Super solid. Potentially do it twice with Qui-Gon Jinn's Agent Rise ability. Yeah, very
Could
decent.
It's fine. Like it's fine.
it stacks with Quinlan,
Yeah.
so you can ping it first and then it's damaged.
Great in drafts.
Yeah, I mean a 4/6 on 5.
The stats are okay. Yeah, the stats are okay. Does 2 damage when played. It's fine.
There he is.
T-Bo's excited.
I just thought Darth Maul is just such a cool character. Like I wanted to play the
Oh,
unit so bad.
Darth Maul correctly.
That's an iconic moment too. Like just that moment is the first. Remember the first time you saw a double lightsaber?
That's true.
How exciting was that moment for you? Like,
Twice as exciting as regular lightsabers.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
So, aggression, villainy, no surprises
You
there.
have to pay double for that.
Action, use the force. Deal 1 damage to unit and 1 damage to a different unit. I don't know. It's again, I don't know how easy it's gonna be to use the force to gain it. It feels like a decent crowd control right off the top, right? Good with grid stuff as well, right? You can ping your own stuff while controlling the opposing board. There's potential there. 5/6, so it's a 5/6 on flip. On attack, deal 1 damage to unit and 1 damage to different unit. So same thing, but on attack this time. 5/6 for 6 is a little bit weak. A little bit weak.
I really think he needs overwhelm.
Oh, then play the other one.
The other one is a 6/6 with overwhelm. Like
6/6 with overwhelm. Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, it feels like it's trying to be thematic, just with the deals 1 damage to one unit and then 1 to another.
I get that.
Let's just wait to look at the next slide and
yeah. Do you have his saber
look
on
at
there?
the next slide and see what is got his saber on there.
Hold on, is he's special? So he'll be in this. Yeah. That's it. Some blue villainy for our BBC lover. Blue black control for the ones not you didn't see the last episode. Blue black control TV. So 8 costs, so expensive, but that's not your problem. It's right in your curve. 6/8 ground units, sick art, if I may. Restore 2, and when played, you may use the force. If you do, defeat each non-Sith unit with 3 or less HP remaining. That's a board clearer if I've ever seen one.
That's a board clear with leaving a 6/8 with restore 2 on it. Thank you.
Do you agree? Do you like the art? I think the art's sick.
I do. Again, like it's
wow.
It's thematic, right? Like those moments, like that was the first time you kind of not the first time, but like in that film, one of the first times you seen Darth Sidious do his nasty stuff with the Trade Federation. That's cool. I'm for it.
Yeah, it's it's a little bit of a conditional kind of board clear because it's got to be 3 health or less. Maybe that's kind of where I was gonna say where you use Darth Maul's ability, but it's tricky because they both use the Force. So I don't know.
Yeah, but against those low, low to the ground, you want to clear a bunch of tokens, all the bunch of everything, like a lot of things with 3 health. Like it's pretty good, and even if you've got if you've OB'd a bunch of stuff or whatever, you can pair stuff. It's a good card.
Clint, you
6/8.
Am I going to play that? I just zoned out, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
I said blue black control. I was like, yeah, this is not my time to shine. I'll see you guys later.
BBC. I'm not interested in BBC.
The next one's interesting.
So Drain Essence, 2 costs. Deal 2 damage to unit. The Force is with you.
Yeah.
It sounds good on paper.
Yeah, I mean 2 costs. You're dealing 2 damage to a unit. You're getting the Force token back.
Now, where does that fit in BBC decks?
think it depends how much you've built it around using the
Force.
force. And that'll be what obviously these things come out. And I know they spoke a little bit about the rare bases, and we saw the common ones, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yep.
But yeah, like I mean, 2 costs, deal 2 damage to a unit. That might kill something. That might not. Feels pretty good.
Yep. But
I
regardless,
mean, you got
yeah.
to think as well, if Darth Maul is doing 1 damage on his leader side and then he flips
That's
to his unit
true.
side, does another 2 damage, then you can do this to do 2 damage.
Well, no, you'd have to do it before. Well, unless you already have the force. But like early
Yeah,
on,
but
you need to.
but you'd have to attack with Maul, and if you're using one of the bases that has got the
Yeah, the force thing.
Yeah. So if you get the force, and then all of a sudden you're bringing the force back, and you can use the force again for something else.
Mhm.
Like it's
You can
it's
clear.
pretty
You can
good.
clear a turn 1 and gain the force.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult to gain and lose the force. I think
No.
I
would-
think if it's a core mechanic, there'll be some stipulation behind it, but I think you're going to be able to use the force at least once per round.
Oh yeah.
If you've built around it, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think there'll be cards like this that, if you can play into a decent curve with it, where you've got action abilities that you want to use the force with, like this is just a way to, I'm going to do it twice.
Mm.
It's still going to cost you 2 resources to get the force back, and that's fair. But you're also getting something else with it.
And
Darth-
I'm sure there'll be cards that will say your opponent loses the force. If they
Yes.
have the force, they lose the force.
Maybe you take your opponent's force. Maybe things like that as well. Can you steal
Yeah.
the force?
Yeah.
Sounds like something Darth Sidious would do.
Yeah.
Darth Maul's lightsaber. So we had the leader. Now we have his little toy attached to a friendly non-vehicle unit. When played, if attached unit is Darth Maul, you may attack with him. For this attack, he gains overwhelm and can't attack bases. 4, 2 for 3. Wow.
So I know this is obviously going to be one of the new spotlight decks with the new Maul, but I'm also thinking about the Maul from this last set, right? That can attack
Yeah, 6,
2 units.
5, 6. Is it 5, 6 as well, right? 5,
He's a
5.
7/6,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
The
He's not
leader
a
is
6/6.
the leader is
The
but
leader
not
is
unit.
the units. I think the unit's a little bit less, but it's a 5/6, so you're going to make him a 9/8. He can attack 2 things, and has
And
overwhelm.
do overwhelm. Yeah,
That's-
that's pretty
Ooh.
great.
Wow.
Wild.
That is.
And
pretty
that's
great.
always the
Why?
good thing with those upgrades that allow you to attack straight away. You don't lose tempo. You
Yeah.
could clear the board. You do 10 damage on base on top of that, on top of clearing a board.
Yeah.
It's nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Like
And I mean, if you're running a constructed outside just using the spotlight decks, you're probably going to chuck the Maul unit into this deck anyway. So you're going to have multiple targets for it. I think it's kind of cool.
plus, I'd be surprised if there isn't another Maul unit in this set. Realistically,
Yeah, maybe.
Right. I mean, you have this Darth Maul. You also have the 7/6 Darth Maul.
No,
Yeah,
the
the
7/6
green
with
one.
ambush.
That's-
Yeah.
So it's starting to get nice because you managed to put that on him because he has overwhelm as well. So
Yeah.
now he has 11. Maybe you're cleaning something else. Maybe you have an underworld. You don't even take any damage. Like there's some cool Darth Maul stuff. I think that are right around the corner. Oh, actually,
I like it. That's a good saber.
actually,
It is.
is he Darth Maul? Or is he just small? The green villainy one, the one from Shadow.
Yeah, he's just Maul.
He's just
He's
Maul.
Underworld.
I think he's just small.
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
fair. I
Mm.
Yeah,
didn't
he
even
is.
think of that.
So it won't
Reading
work
the
on him.
card explains.
But the other two
card.
will. The other
Make
2
sense.
red ones will be fine.
Yeah, too.
And the other leader.
Moving on, a cute little ship. We got the scimitar. 4 cost 3/4. While this unit is
Cute little
damaged,
ship. Hey, that's
it
Darth Maul's
gets-
ship. What are you talking about?
It's a nice ship.
Oh, I thought you said
Uh,
cute ship.
It is a cute ship. It's a cute little ship.
Tebow thinks everything is cute.
Nah.
True.
He
This is
says
true.
cute.
He calls us
He
cute all
uses-
the time. This
he
is
uses
true.
You
cute
guys are-
way too much.
Nah. While this unit is damaged, it gets +3/+0. Would you look at
cute.
that? If it doesn't fit perfectly with this bad boy.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Turn your own unit into a 6/3. Why wouldn't you?
God. That's
6/3 for 4.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
nasty.
pretty good.
It's phenomenal.
Or, as someone said earlier today, with the jump to light speed Asajj leader.
Yeah,
Mm.
very
Yeah,
good as
yeah.
well. Yeah, very good as well. Now the issue is if you put yourself as a 3 health, you're vulnerable to a lot of the JTL ambush stuff, like blue
Yeah.
leader and things like that, and
Definitely,
even
definitely
a
risk.
fireball, things like that.
I mean, all those things, and a lot of those, like even oh no, Sidious doesn't do it, but it's a recurring theme. Like
You're all
defeat
clear,
things with
kid.
3 health. You're all clear.
Mhm.
Is that 3 health? Yeah, it is 3
It's
health.
3.
Vigilance.
3 or less.
Like
Yeah.
defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining,
Yeah.
heal 5 off your base. Like you run those risks, but for 6 damage, might be worth it.
Yeah, if you've got the tempo right and it's your turn to attack, like there's no it feels like a great play. Savage.
This one's interesting.
6 costs 9/6. Wow.
Yeah,
First of
but
all, but overwhelm. When played and when defeated, you may use the force. If you don't, deal 9 damage to your base.
So you got to play around. Like it's a like a 9/6
It's a
for
beast.
6. That's huge.
Overwhelm?
But you gotta overwhelm.
Beast.
You gotta play around that, and you can't just slam that down at 6.
So
because
you thought Wrecker ECL was a problem.
Well,
yeah,
this is somewhat problematic, but it
You're
depends.
banking on the ability that having the force is going to be hard.
No,
But if you
I'm not.
get the force on your
Yeah.
previous turn,
Yeah.
like the previous round, hold it, claim, attack with this first turn.
yeah. But what we've seen so far in
But-
those common bases is the thing that gives you
Oh.
the force back. So if you run
Yeah, but-
ECL and you don't have any other way of getting the force
Oh,
back,
sorry. What am I doing?
that's
Yeah,
I think
no.
yeah.
Now,
Just.
I mean,
put
you can
that down
play.
to
You can play timely.
reading the card.
Let's say if you play.
explains the
Let's say you
card.
play
You
timely.
can play time. Yeah.
The one thing is, and I will say, you do. Let's say you play timely. You attack with that. You lose your force. Cool. You've used your force token. It's gone. I kill it. You have to take 9 to your base because now
You have to take 9 to
because
your
your
base.
force token is gone.
I don't.
It's as gamble as it gets.
It is like, and if you did run ECL, maybe this is a decent closer
Mm-hmm.
in
You
green,
have to-
red,
you
black.
have to take 9 to yourself.
But you got to
Oh.
take 9 to your base, and you got to make sure that you've got 9 left.
Yeah. Well,
Or you're
It's
sitting
10.
with your force
You want 10.
token the entire time, and you're like never using your force
Mm.
token just to play this at the end. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's definitely a closer because you definitely don't want this thing being removed when you don't have the force either.
God no. God. No.
This is our force token for now. Actually, decent art. Cool art. Like,
Yeah.
interesting kind of token.
That's,
I
you
don't
know,
know really what they
Yoda-
have in mind in terms
Yoda
of
bringing the X-wing out of the Dagobah swamp.
in terms
That's
of where
cool.
does that sit in the on the playmat on the board. I don't really know how they see that, but that's your token for now.
We're gonna see
Um,
new mats.
We'll see new mats. We're gonna see new tokens. We'll get
That's
you
a new
guys some new tokens.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of common bases. Shadow in the City, 28 health. You guys can't see because of our logo, but 28 health, vigilance. When a friendly force unit attacks, the force is with you. Wow. That makes it really easy to get the force.
That's an easy way to get the force back.
Oof.
And it's not like it's a huge health deficit either.
Yes, it's not bad at all.
Like, it's 28.
The green is the same. The common is the force.
Yeah.
If a friendly force unit attack, the force with you.
I wonder if
control
does
decks
that
might
go with
not like
Luke?
this, but
I'm not sure.
I'm just I'm curious to see. Like, that's we got blue and green. What's red and yellow? do?
Maybe if same thing. if
these two are the same.
if
Are
a
they the
Sith
same, or is
unit-
there something different?
I think all the common ones are the same.
Okay, that's cool.
But then
Well,
there's all the rare four colors have different.
It makes
force
sense.
abilities.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's cool.
I think, and I mean, yeah, it'll only be Force. It wouldn't be Sith or Jedi. Like it'll
Yeah.
only be Force because that's a unifying
Yeah,
trait.
that's true.
But like you said, two health to
That's what you were talking
What if
about, Clint.
every leader in the set has a Force trait. Well, that makes sense. It's called Legend of the Force. I think it'd be really odd if it didn't. Rare bases will all have a way to get the Force. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Rare bases don't require full Force decks.
Okay.
Makes sense. If you've got a couple of combos in there
I
that
think
rely on the
they
force,
should have had
maybe
a
that's what you're
capital
doing.
on the force deck. Full force. It makes it like a And
And they're
units
saying
should
ground
be
units will be more
durable.
durable. 2 cost units around 2 4 stat line. See, I mean that is more
Uh,
durable at 2 costs, but that doesn't help you against our current Tarkin Town problem, right?
It's tough because what does that mean for all the other 2 cost units that we've had so far? Is it just like a standard power creep?
Mm, I don't know. Jesus, checks out. Cat being cat.
Um,
Look, your ping units and your Quinlan Tarkin Towns, your Cad Tarkin Towns, they still feast on that a 2-4.
Yeah.
Like you still need a 3-5 for it to be viable. But
the other thing to point out as well, Tebow, if you go back to one of the leaders,
Who do you want me to go back to?
just Maul's fine. See how they got the little symbol on them in the text box?
Yes, I saw that on these cards as well.
Yeah. So that just means that they're force traded. So you don't have
Makes
to
it a bit
continue to
easier.
referring back to the text box.
Okay.
You can automatically tell that they have the force trait.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, here as well. Cool. Pog. 0 cost 1/1.
Can we have 15 of them in the deck like swarming vultures? Because that'd be wild.
Like, if
I don't think so, but
Nah, it'd be mental.
Uh,
That's
free stuff always allows shenanigans.
it's
yeah. Look, I mean,
it's a creature. We haven't seen anything with creatures, but
we've got lots of
it's
creatures. What are you talking about?
yeah, but you haven't seen
Nexus,
anything
Rancors.
to interact basically with them. Nothing
Oh,
that
like
there's no
yeah,
creature
sure.
kind of interactions.
Look, I'm looking at this, and yes, BBC player
They're
here.
cute.
You're going to play a first turn 2 cost. My Power of the Dark Side suddenly lost a bit of its
Interest.
value. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but if this is my first turn against the control, I'm not in a good place.
I'm just saying, like, yeah. But it costs nothing. You will still have a force turn plus that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, right now nobody sees the value except one guy in his basement who's crafted like a trench deck with porgs, maybe. But as of right now, I just don't see it. But I'm sure I'll be proven wrong soon enough. All right. Now that we've done all the fun stuff, let's talk about the less fun. We can talk about Jango a little bit.
Real talk.
Yes,
Yeah, we'll
I'm
talk
sure you
about
guys have heard. You and whoever is watching have heard and read plenty about Jango over the last over the last week, right? Last few days, since the Milan sectors on Saturday and Sunday, and the Atlanta event on Saturday, Sunday as well. Yeah, there was a good amount of Jangos that entered the tournament. We'll talk about Milan more. I'll be more aware of the stats then. Solid amount of Jangos entering day one in the 500. An even better percentage of them making day two to the top 60, the top 64, and a great amount of them qualifying to the top 16 and the top 8. And it won. Eventually won Milan
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8. The only one that was not a Jango red was a Piet yellow. Cool deck, by the way. Clinton, I watched that. One of the matches on video was really cool deck. Were they all Tarkin Town in the top 8?
Yes.
I think so, right? Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
There were other flavors of Jangos. There were some playing more low to the ground, some playing with the 30 base. We saw a little bit of variations in terms of what the deck exactly were, but most of them were the same kind of archetypes, right? Jango Target Town playing around Triple Dark Raid, War Juggernaut, Devastator, Ruthless Raider. You didn't put IG-2000 in there, but IG-2000 is also
I forgot IG-2000 when I did this. I knew I was missing
one of the big keys to control the board early. And the Pitchforks are out. The Village Protectors are out for Jango Fett's head, and they want his head on a stick. People want the ban, and I guess we'll be brief, but we'll kind of give our opinion as to whether we think this should happen or not. I'll let you guys
like
begin.
Mace Windu in Petronaki Arena. He's out for Jango's head.
What do you think? Clint, since you're on.
What do I think?
Out or in?
I sit in the middle. I'm
Fence-sitter.
Swiss. I'm Swiss about it. I think Jango is a problem, but I think Jango is only a problem because of the combination of the cards we see on the screen. I didn't view him as a problem last set, but it's because he wasn't being facilitated by these new cards in the new set.
Yep.
Which is the War Juggernaut, the Devastator, the IG-2000. Separately, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's just the combination with the Triple Dark Raid, the multi-tap that you can get, and it's just a bad time for your opponent. Like, a fundamental part of playing the game is exchanging units, playing your cards, etc. like that. When you can't do that, you're effectively breaking the fundamental rules of the game.
TV?
One event. Not to. I don't disagree with anything that Clint has said. I don't think I sit anywhere in terms of wanting to ban Jango. One, probably because I play decks that play pretty well into it.
Yep.
Piet. If I went back to Palp, probably Palp would be all right with it too. I think it's telling, and I think we've talked about this before. A rare card, Triple Dark Raid, like the current market value of it, is quite high. I think we've had this conversation as a group.
It's like
before.
$25 at the moment.
$25 for a rare card? That's wild.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there's
more
legendaries.
expensive than most legendaries and jump to light speed.
Yeah. So I think it kind of shows how, powerful this card is, and it is powerful. Like we joke about it a lot and we talk about it a lot that yellow doesn't need anything more powerful because yellow's pretty bloody powerful.
Yep.
There are certain combos that I think make this really brutal. I think you're right. You can have pretty feels bad moments in it. The Milan results, like having 7 in the top 8, it's not the end of the world yet. It's one event. And we knew when we were going through these cards for this set, War Juggernaut, IG-2000, Devastator.
Yep.
We knew that they were gonna. They were cards for Jango.
Yeah.
Like they were there to make Jango stronger, and that's what they were going to do. We knew that was going to happen. I don't think it's enough to warrant a ban on either Triple Dark Raid or Jango at this point. It's one event. It's not like they don't have the data like they did with Boba. Same as they didn't ban DJ or ban Han. Like I think it's Han's a little bit different than this. And this deck is favored into Han. So like it's kind of balancing that overwhelming Han meta that we sort of saw going into the end of last set in PQs. I don't know that it necessarily needs to be banned. The mass ping, I think, is what sets it over the top. The sort of mass tap, ping and tap sort of thing.
So if you look at the Mandalorian leader, when he flips, he can only tap up to 2 units or something like that. There's a restriction, and you've got to jump through about 10 hoops to be able to do that as well.
Yeah. So he can do it once before he taps and then once after he sort of flips.
Yeah.
As long as you play
use this ability once per phase.
Yeah.
That might be what's missing from Jango. But then is it powerful enough? I think it's a mid-range deck doing mid-range things, and it's doing them pretty well. Me having played Control, and like I've been playing Piet pretty, which isn't the soft control, it's more of a ramp deck than it is, I would say, a hard control deck. But like I haven't really had a problem against Jango with Piet. Piet Colossus.
Piet made up like 6 or 7% of Milan.
It's not enough.
But it's still, you would have thought that there would have been a higher conversion rate for.
Oh, look, and who knows what they'll play?
three.
I haven't looked at the lists.
Like-
I would think that, and then looking at what again, it's that thing we talk about a lot. It's better to be lucky. Who knows what their matchups were getting? They might not have gotten. And I think one of the P8s, I was talking to Scott, and he was saying that one of the P8s ran into like the hard sort of counters, like ran into Han
Sure.
twice.
Yeah.
Just didn't
So,
hit
like-
Jango.
So
Right.
like, yeah, if you're not running into your Jangos and you think there's 500 people, even if it's a quarter, you're
Yeah.
not always guaranteed to run into them.
It was 20%.
I think right now it's it's way too early to call what needs to be banned. It's definitely got its power, but I think it does have its weaknesses.
I
And
agree.
That's what I think's different to Han.
I agree. And we've got two sectional
Sectors.
sectors. So two
Gotta
sectors
get
coming
that.
up this weekend. And we'll have more data points.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if Jango dominates both those sectors, we might be in for a snapback.
I don't know. I give my 2 cents. It's my turn now. You guys weren't really sitting on the fence, and I guess I'll pick one side of the fence where I don't think it should be banned yet. And I'm the first one to whinge about stuff that I've overpowered. The amount of whinging I've done about Rekka and ECL, God forbid.
Really?
Yeah,
I just tuned it out
that was
after a
that
while.
was a feel
Never heard
bad
it.
moment. That's a feel bad moment. Whether you get ECL Po, ECL Rekka, like it was an unbeatable combo if it wasn't for Boba in set 2, right? Now it's interesting because I think Triple Dark Raid and Devastator do that for Jango. Basically before set 1 and between set 1 and set 2, Rekka filled that hole for Sabine. I should say filled that gap. Maybe not Sabine's hole. Rekka filled Sabine's gap in terms of late game, right? You didn't have that late game.
Now
Now
we're gonna so snip that.
now it gives you that late game option. Okay, you haven't won by resource 5. You almost wait your ECR record to finish the game. The Devastator does the same thing for Jango. Like Jango wasn't amazing the previous set because it's like, well, you're gonna tap, and then you're gonna run out of steam because if you manage, like the Ruthless Raider was your last option. If you don't win by Ruthless Raiders, you're done. So to me, it feels unfair to say, oh well, Jango. And again, I'm not trying to defend Jango. Like I've played Jango a little bit. I have the showcase. Right here. So I'd love for it to stay, but I'll play anything else. I'm probably gonna play Luke. In all honesty, at the PQ. But it gives Jango that late game option that Sabine got, and nobody blinked an eye about that, right? I can see you want to say something. Clint, hold that thought. The mass tap is tough. Now people saying, oh, it feels bad because I can't play my unit. You can't play your unit when you get triple Power of the Dark Side. You can't play your unit when you get Super Laser Blast or Avenger. Like having an Avenger on the board is super feel bad because I can't play anything because he's gonna claim an attack and kill my stuff. Like it's no different. Like at least your units remain on the board. You can claim if you play Sentinels, he has to interact with it despite the ping. Like I get that people want to play the units, but I'm like just play something that can counter it. I play Luke. Your ping goes into my shield. I'm unaffected by your entire game plan, right? So I get that there are stuff that are good. Again, I've played Jango. The deck is built right here. It feels good. There is some good stuff. Triple Dark Raid is a really good card. Now, it relies on a little bit of luck, obviously, because you never know what you're going to pull off of it. Sometimes, like...
I was going to bring that up. You can whiff a Triple Dark Raid.
You and I played a mirror a couple of weeks ago. You got a Carlos tie out of it. I laughed at your face.
I know. Like, what do you do with that? Like, I've literally paid 3 for Triple Dark Raid for a 2-cost unit.
Exactly.
So you can whiff it. I think
it comes back to your hand, so you don't even doesn't even stay on board.
Yeah. Like, and that I think therein lies the difference. We talked about this as well. I think you made the point, Tebow. There's some RNG to it. There's no RNG to an ECL Rekka or an ECL Po. You've decided what's going to happen.
Or a DJ Tech combo. There's no RNG to that.
Combo. You know what's happening. You know it's coming. You've planned it out. That's what your hand gave you. I mean, the RNG of getting those cards is there,
of course,
but that's for everything.
That
that's every aspect of it.
When you're looking for Devastator, when you're hoping for Devastator on TDR to close out a game, and you don't get it, feels bad, right? So yeah, I get it, great cards, but like you said, control beats it. I think we need to give time to people to figure it out and build some stuff. If people don't want to play Django, they should try to build for it. Like I said, we were talking about it in the community chat. I was saying Luke is a great option, Gar is a great option, and I think Quinlan is a good option because of all the hand hate. If you hand hate Django, like you
Sure.
play Akira and you call TDR, what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
So, okay,
go
two
ahead.
thoughts. I agree with you. I think we're too early in the meta to go make snap decisions, and I think there probably are counters out there.
Yep.
I have this running theory at the moment that, you know how we always bitch and moan about how shitty the promo cards are and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
But the word is that FFG chooses them because they were very strong in development.
Yes.
I have this running theory now that the answers to the meta problems that we have are like hiding in plain sight, that these cards that they give out as promo cards at events might actually be answers to, but because we just look at them and go, oh, they're shitty,
Yeah.
we haven't worked out what the actual combination is that might potentially be an answer. Now, I'm probably completely off the mark there. Like,
it's a theory.
Clint's calling the gore meta.
This is tinfoil hat stuff, right?
I was about to say, should I go grab my unrefusable offers back from my cupboard?
Yeah. Where are those unrefusable offers? What is?
Yeah.
We moan, but apparently these cards were strong in testing.
Maybe.
So anyway, that's one thought. The second thought is that just I kind of disagree with you a little bit, Tebow, because when you triple dark raid and you go for Devastator for the win, if you whiff the Devastator, you have 9 other cards that you can hit that can help at least get you to the next round to then win. So you've got the War Juggernaut to tap everyone down. You've got the Ruthless Raider to tap something down 2 to the base. You've got the IG 2000.
IG 2000 is not a game winner, but
it's not a game winner.
Fire Spray is good.
But it's a control card that helps you get to the next round to then win the game.
It's great.
Whereas Wrecker, you kind of have to win the game on the spot, or you kind of lose.
God forbid I have to deal with a 7-6 after that.
But that's an aggro deck. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is not an aggro deck. This is a mid-range deck.
But it's just countering
Again?
Timo's point that it's if you're digging for the Devastator, where you've actually got 9 other cards.
Yeah, I'm not saying the card isn't strong. Like that's not what I'm saying. I get the strength. I play this and you bounce it, or you exhaust it, or like you play No Good to Me Dead, you play Perils. You've used 2 cards to do nothing and potentially 3, 5, 6 resources. I get what you're saying.
The meta will adapt, and I think you're right. We need to see more shields.
Yep.
We might move into a shield meta, like to counter this.
Yeah.
I
More
think
vehicle sentinels, more air
I think you'll
sentinels.
see that
Space.
on in if you're playing a mid-range deck or you're playing an aggro deck, you might see those shifts because this is a mid-range deck doing mid-range things. That's at least how I see it.
Yeah.
I think what I do like about this deck is that it kind of ruins that Han double yellow, and I think
Which
what
we
Han
asked
double-
for months.
That's what we needed, and I'm saying this as a control player because playing some of the harder control decks always felt shit when you're going into a Han double yellow deck. Like a Han double yellow deck, if it goes off, can out aggro the aggro decks. It can prevent the control decks, and it slaps a lot of the mid range decks. Whereas this deck really slaps a lot of the mid range decks and a lot of the aggro decks, which it should do. That's what it's kind of supposed to do. But it is weak to the control decks, and I think therein lies like the kind of triumvirate thing that you see about those
You could have just used the word
TCGs.
triangle, bro.
Whatever. Let me use my big words, French boy. The thing, Qui-Gon Jinn. The thing that I think
Title of the podcast.
I'm still more looking towards we should get rid of fucking Han over Jango, like because the thing is we saw I think we saw a massive dip in control decks because of just how good that Han was, and there hasn't been any control to keep this in check.
Yeah.
Look, I'm of the opinion that if they're going to do something, they just need to ban Triple Dark Raid, ban DJ. Triple Dark Raid is a pushed card in this deck. Like
We'll ban Poe while we're at it.
I think Triple Dark Raid is fine, but it needed to destroy the unit or something like that rather than bounce it back to your hand.
No, I think it should maybe be like a max cost type of thing. Grab a unit that costs 6 or less, for example, or 5 or less, or something like that.
Maybe.
I think that's perfect. Like play like grab, because it costs 5 less anyway. Grab a unit that costs 5 or less and play it for free. You're sweet. Like you're super sweet. Like
Yeah,
you can
maybe,
still play a
but
bunch of stuff. You can go fetch for like your 3 cost. You can ping with the P3338, things like that. You can grab your IG.
Yeah, look, I mean, it just does a number of things that a lot of other cards don't do. So it digs in your deck, it gives you a discount, it allows you to attack straight away, plus you get that card in your hand for 1 card and $3.
Yeah, it's I will say it's an interesting one because if that unit gets killed for XYZ reason, you've lost 2 cards. Like I think I played against you or against TV the other day. I think it was you, and you were hand ripping me a little bit. And it's a tough deck to recover when you don't have a lot of draws. If you get hand hated, it's a bit of a tricky one because you use all those cards. Like same thing with sneak attack. Sneak attack, you use your sneak attack plus the unit, so that's 2 cards that are gone that you're not seeing again. And I will say last point for me. I saw a Reddit post today when people were saying, "Oh, like the best players in the world have been scratching their head on how to beat Jango, and they couldn't do it on the weekend in Milan." Bro, you think the best players weren't playing Jango? What are we talking about here? The best players were playing Jango, and they were like, "I'm taking the best deck because I want to win." And if I'm a top 50 player, I'm playing the best deck because I don't have time to fool around. So that's what's tough as well. Is the best players haven't put their mind to beat Jango. They were just like, "How do I make Jango better?" That's what they've been
But
trying
what
to
I
figure
will
out.
also say is that a 15-year-old ended up winning it as well, playing
Good
Jango.
on him. Good on him. Probably has way more reps than me.
But I think Django's not. It's not like when we used to talk about Han double yellow. It's not a pick up and play deck. You need reps into it. You need
big time.
to think about it a lot. It's not an easy pilot to deck. This is an easier
Easier
deck
for
to
sure.
pilot. You
I've
know
said it
you
from
know
the
what it's
start,
supposed to do. It's easier. It's not nothing's so simple to pick up and play. And I mean, I make fun of Clint for playing Sabine, and I've
P8's
played a
for
bit of
dribblers.
Sabine. Look, you just didn't like it because you lost.
P8's for dribblers.
Go play Jango with all the other 90 people doing it.
Look, if it makes everyone feel better, I have retired Sabine for this set if Django's going to stay around. So,
Oh, you
will
mean you've dropped the aggro deck that is clearly weak to it? I'm not
Yeah.
shocked. Like you should, but like it makes sense. Like that's the thing.
No,
And
100%.
I genuinely think what we'll see is a bit of more return to balance if Django keeps this Han crap in check, or if they ban Han, please. Like control will come back. I'll come back and keep these mid-range decks in check so that the aggro can stand a fair chance.
Okay, so quick round table.
I say
Or
keep
saying?
it. I'm saying keep it for now.
it?
I think we need. Man, this is what's fun about the game is we need to find ways to try to beat it. Again, we whinged about Han for months and how it was too strong, and we need something to keep it in check. This keeps it in check, and we're not happy about it. Like
It's kind of like the devil you know, though.
No, I genuinely I think Han breaks the game more than Jango does.
Yes.
If we talk and we joke and we're like, Han yellow's a control deck, and it kind of
we
is.
said a quick yes no.
But it's a mid-range deck that
Does mid-range things.
That's
why I'm playing it.
No, Han. I'm saying Han.
Oh,
Han is a mid-range deck in essence that out aggros and keeps controls down. So that to me is much more
It does
powerful.
a lot of things. Yeah.
That's much more powerful than this. This does one thing. It just does it really good.
Yeah.
And if you disrupt it, it's over. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
this
Look,
plays
I mean,
nothing from the smuggle. Like
we could see people start playing Quinlan into it.
play Luke.
Just with the hand hate.
I played
like
I played on the site that shall not be named, and I just broke out P at Colossus, and a Jango with some streamer sleeves popped up, and I was just like, here we go. And drew it out and won.
I'll say though, for people that were saying, oh, like it's not fun to play against, you and I played a mirror, and it was so fun.
That,
Oh my god.
that was very fun.
Like it was
That
a dope game. Like Mirror Jango, like we were both playing the deck that's not fun, and we had so much fun. Like it's just
Yeah.
everything that's fun about this game is trying to figure out how to solve the puzzle. And him and I will literally trying to face the puzzle of like, okay, I know what this deck is trying to do. Like I know what it's gonna try to do. I know what I want to do, and you still have to solve the puzzle, and that's what's fun in
Yeah.
this game. It's the same thing when you play against any deck. You
But
play
is
against.
that why it's fun though? Because you're both on equal power levels.
No, like I
It
play
was.
Luke. I'm the same thing. I play like you play any deck. It's a puzzle solving, right? Like that's what it is. It's I think people need to stop whinging about ban what's really good because I can't be fucked. Sorry, I can't be bothered. Putting reps into something, put a deck together. This that I get that for the more casual crowd. I do get that, but it's also fun for us players to have something that's good to play against or to play with, and like I don't know.
First of all,
I'm breaking
it's
out
an Aussie
Qui-Gon.
Obi.
First-
Yeah.
First of all, it's an Aussie podcast. We can say fuck.
Yeah.
We're not here to fuck spiders.
We're not here to fuck spiders. I think you're right. That was a fun game, and Clint, you are right. It's because we kind of were on an equal footing. Because we played another game where I was Piet, and I don't think Tebow, you had fun playing into it. Like, that's the thing. Like you were on Jango again, and you were doing the Jango things, and that's the same game that I had tonight. The Jango deck was doing the Jango things. Played a War Juggernaut, triple dark rated, Devastator. I just had answers to it.
Yeah.
He triple dark rated a Devastator, and I played a Power of the Dark Side. It's the only thing he had on board. Like, cool. You've done 4 damage, and you tapped my big Star Destroyer that was out, and you put 3 on base.
Oh no.
Good on you. And I'm gonna pay 3 and get rid of it. Like,
Look,
it can be kept in check with control decks. That's the key here.
it can be kept in check by any deck. You've got EMP, you've got that unexpected escape, anything that can kind of tap down. I saw people were talking about is it Look the Other Way? Look the Other Way, which is the 0 cost tap down. Or is it In Pursuit?
It's
Look the Other-
look
well, you've got to pay.
They have to pay 2, and if they don't,
2.
you exhaust
But
unit.
if
So
the
you do it after
triple
they.
after the triple dark rated, and it's a free tap.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are answers. Maybe people are like chicken littling it a little bit. We'll see what happens see what happens this weekend.
I don't think it breaks the game. I think it just does what it's supposed to do, and it does it well. And that's what I think the discussion is hopefully happening at FFG, where they're looking at Han double yellow kinda breaks the game more than this does.
And they know better than us what's coming up.
Maybe home 1 is the answer, as that's the PQ card.
Maybe. No,
home 1 is the answer to Jango.
It's an ambush. It's an ambush depending on like how much you have in space. Jango packs up the space.
Yeah, Aquatin's Assault. I tell you now,
if stocks are going up,
you're gonna tap my Piet. Cool. You can't kill him. You got nothing that early that's gonna kill him. And for 6, I'm playing an Aquatins, and I'm gonna ambush into your ready to IG bullshit. I'm gonna make it my resource. You're done.
So I know all to say that we probably have a slightly unpopular opinion compared to the rest of the content creation space on SWU regarding that matter. It sounds like we're more on this don't ban yet kind of side of things. Again, it's to me it doesn't feel as bad as what Han has been, but I'm almost happy they didn't ban Han because maybe Han players will try to improve Han to beat that, and that we're going to see some new metas and some new stuff, some new matchups. I hope it's not going to be Jango mirrors for the next 3 weeks. But yeah, so
that therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
Probably will be,
but we'll see.
If no one works it out, that's what it's going to be. And if they don't ban it before PQs, it's going to be a very long PQ season.
You'll see a lot of. You'll see Luke. I'm gonna make it.
You'll see. Yeah, look. If we're on stream next week, they turn around and say, "Hey, we looked at the last 3 big results, and they said we're going to ban Jango or we're going to ban Triple Dark Raid and DJ."
So be it.
I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, and I'm going to dust off my Sabine showcase. So,
Like it's not consistently built. Can we talk about one more thing before we sign off, really
Yeah.
quickly, just about the Milan event? The one was it? Well, let's call it controversy. I mean, it is
Oh
after
yeah,
all
quickly, sure.
a TCG game.
That's all you.
The judge call around, the player didn't explicitly state, like they pinged, they didn't explicitly state the tap. That's the one I'm talking about. We all remember that. I think we had a little side discussion, and I know it's been sort of popping up in some of the discords. I personally think it was the right call that the judge made to not tap the things, because it's not the opponent's job to play your game for you. It's not for them to assume that you're, pinging things and tapping them. You do have to state it. Like it's an ability that
Sure.
you're using. I don't think it's like, oh, you're Jangoing me. We do it when we play games because we're playing casual games. But if you're at a competitive level event, you got to be playing your game, and you've got to be concentrating on what the opponent's doing for sure, because you've got to, maintain board state and all those other good,
Sure.
things. I'm trying to simplify it so we can just talk about it quickly. But I don't think you guys disagree or have another hot take against me, but I think you got to call
I
out your
don't
shit.
think I disagree because it's a May. What I think I disagree with is that it was a bit of a dog move in what happened afterwards.
Apparently, he played a bit fast and this and that, but I don't know.
Like
I didn't watch the game.
Yeah.
And he made an illegal play and
That's
then realized
true.
he made an illegal play and then played another card and then he actually missed
A trigger.
a trigger that was
He should
so
have paid an extra
he
one
knew
for his
he
juggernaut.
knew what was happening and he knew that if he played fast he might be able to catch his opponent off guard.
Yeah.
So it was basically a dog move.
Yeah.
So I don't think people are questioning the ruling as such for the most part. Like
The
I think
behavior.
there probably is probably people in both camps, but
Yeah.
I think it's more the guy took advantage of a situation where he knew he was taking advantage of it, which was wasn't really playing fairly.
So Swu and Lolcana
Yeah.
players aren't that different after all.
And you're gonna get those people, right?
It's
I mean,
fine,
as
it's
long as they're
fine.
playing within the rules, I'm for it. But like, I think you've got to stay on the fact that yes, if you're missing a mandatory thing, absolutely. If you're and if you notice that you've done something illegal, your opponent's done something illegal, you immediately call the judge.
Yeah.
The judge comes over, you stop playing, the judge sorts it out. That's the whole point.
It
I
just
personally think they should have rolled it back. Like I agree that
Yeah.
within the rules it was correct, but I think given the egregious state that it was done in, it should have been
Maybe.
rolled back.
all in all, it
To
circles
these-
back to don't be a dick. It's
Don't be a dick.
don't be a dick.
It's the number one rule, right? It's the number one rule of a Baddest Batch event, which, are we excited? Saturday?
Very
Oof.
very
Oof.
excited.
If you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. There's only a few left. But yes,
Just-
don't be a dick at the end of the day. Like, don't make the first aspect of it, not your opponent not stating the ping and
Yeah.
ping and tap. I'm all for.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to tell your opponent who's just pinged you that you also want
You
them
should
to tap.
literally, as the active player, you should literally say exhaust as you ping. Ping and exhaust, ping and exhaust,
Ping and exhaust, ping and exhaust. Move it along. If your opponent's doing something dodgy afterwards, or they've made an illegal play, or they've missed, a must. I know I've done it, especially with trying to play that Han double
Yeah.
yellow and having
Yeah.
to resource. It happens. I didn't think it happened that much, but it happens a lot. Having now judged a PQ, it happens a shitload.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of the judge is to go over there, work out what happened, and work out the best way to roll it back or keep going and make those decisions. So if it happens, call a judge. It's not an aggressive move to call a judge over and just say, this has happened. How do we sort this out?
Great chat, gentlemen. We'll cut it there. We've talked plenty, way more than the 20 minutes that we allocated ourselves. But this was
What,
a
you
good
mean
chat.
that wasn't 20 minutes?
This
I
was
told you
it
we
was a
were
great chat. I
splitting it.
know. This was a great chat. We're gonna do way more of the spoilers this time
Yes.
around. Yeah, we're just gonna try to stay on top of it. Maybe we'll get a spoiler of our own. Wink, wink. VR Overlord. But yeah,
Content creation box. Wink, wink,
FFB, we would love a
Overlord.
content creation box.
well, especially now that you're taking one away from some others. But that's a discussion for another time. You're acting like I made the decision. I didn't do anything. you guys.
Shots fired.
Yeah, wow.
We'll,
Wow. Let's not pick fights, Smith.
We'll be back for more content soon. There's some gameplay. We filmed some gameplay during the week, so we'll try to post that. Otherwise, we'll have plenty of gameplay coming following the event on Saturday. Again, we have a set for leaders only 1K on Saturday, so we will be busy with that. And yeah, we'll be back on the local scene on Monday again for some more swoop. Bye, and as always, remember, good soldiers follow orders. Bye bye.
Deuces.
Peace.